Hey y'all, and welcome to Gemini Outdoors. And today we will be evaluating the Kershaw Starter Pack Tanto Blade Folding Knife. Stay tuned. Okay, in today's evaluation, let's get started with the Kershaw Tanto bladed knife. I got this in a starter pack at Walmart for like 20 bucks. It came with two knives. It's actually a pretty good deal, and I like the knife. We'll get started on this with our theory of use discussion on this very nice knife. My primary theory of use for this knife was for EDC. I've carried it for quite a while. I carried it for about 2 or 3 months back in the summer, and I thought it performed very well in the EDC row. The Tanto blade seemed to perform quite well in cutting tasks and other things. A secondary theory of use that it can be used for is for a tactical folding blade because of the blade shape. Reality of use is this. When I used it for EDC, it performed quite well, and I believe it did a very good job. Realities of use about it though is it's kind of big in a way for me for an EDC blade. Just a little big, and that's kind of one of the only gripes I've really got about it as far as the reality of use. Now, as a tactical folder, it does a very good job in that role, in that theory of use. So I think that it would perform really well. It definitely could go into one of my tactical defense type of systems. So let's go ahead and move on to specs. Alright, the specs for the Kershaw Tanto. The weight is 3 ounces. The overall length is 8.5 inches. The blade length is 3.75 inches. The materials: the handle is a G10 type of material, and the blade is made out of MOV steel. It is a liner lock with a speed safe assisted opening system. So all you gotta do is, like, it's a flipper. All you gotta do is hit this back button right here, and it flips right out. And decent speed on it. This is actually the second longest functioning assisted opening knife I've ever owned. I usually don't like them that well, but I like this one. It has definitely proved itself. The assisted opening system has proved itself to me. The speed safe system has. I own quite a few of the speed safe systems now. I know they can fail. I know there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube and the internet that shows where they failed. But so far, so good with mine. Like I said, I'm usually not one of the kind of guys that likes assisted opening, just because of the simple fact that it can fail. I had a tack force that failed on me, and of course, I haven't evaluated another tack force knife since that one failed. I might get some in the future, but I kind of doubt it. So let's move on to positive aspects. Alright, positive aspects of the knife, of this knife, is I like the size and blade shape for self-defense. It's a big knife, and you want a big knife for self-defense. Plain simple. I mean, it's not a huge knife. It's not like a 8-inch blade on this thing. I mean, it's a 3.75 inch blade, but that's plenty to defend yourself with. And the Tanto shape lends itself for self-defense as well. That Tanto point will pierce a lot of things. The speed-safe assisted opening, usually I consider it a positive aspect of this knife. Usually I don't like assisted opening because they can fail. Now, I've said that in past videos, but I like the speed-safe system with this one. It has lasted quite a long time. I bought this knife quite a while ago, actually, and it's been in my rotation for almost a year now, and it has performed very well. I like the G10 handle. It gives you good grip to it. It has a little bit of jimping up here on this G10 as well, to where you can put your thumb, where you can place your thumb right there, and I think it does a pretty decent job as far as being able to grip. The belt clip is okay. It does ride very low. I like that I can conceal it in my pocket if I want to, and I think that pretty much covers all the positive aspects of the knife. So let's move on to the negative aspects of the knife. Okay, negative aspects of this knife. The size for the EDC, it's a little bit big for EDC, just a little bit big. It makes it you can feel it in your pocket. And when I'm carrying a knife for EDC, when I'm carrying for everyday carry, I don't want something big and gawky in my pockets. I don't like that. I don't like things weighing me down. I don't like feeling things clanking around in my pocket, and it does do that just a little bit. And so that's why I say it's a little bit big for EDC, even though that's my primary theory of use for this knife. It is just a little bit big for me. And you know, another negative aspect on this is, even though I'm really speaking positively on the speed safe, it can fail. It can fail, even though it hasn't. There's always that chance. That's why I like it as the flipper. You can flip it on out there in case it does fail. Moving on to word of mouth. Most reviews that I've seen online are mostly positive about this knife. I haven't seen I don't believe I've seen a negative one about it. Let's move on now to the eval card. Okay, guys. Performance, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Reliability, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Durability, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I counted off for the assisted opening just in case that fails. Value, I gave it a 10 out of 10. That's basically, in that pack, it's about a $10 knife. So value, it had to score high. Versatility, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And compatibility, I gave it a 9 out of 10, because it can work in an EDC TOU and a self-defense, tactical defense TOUs. Simplicity, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Maintenance, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Theory of use, I gave it a 9 out of 10. And lockability, I gave it a 9 out of 10, for an overall score of 89 out of 100 and a letter grade of B. We'll move on now to the recommendations. Okay, my recommendations to the manufacturer would be, make it a slightly smaller version for EDC. It's a really good knife, and that's really about the only thing I will complain about it, is it's just a little bit big, and it's just a little bit gawky in the pocket, in the pants pocket. I know some guys that ain't no big deal, but for me it is. I like my EDC system to be very mobile. I like mobility in my EDC, not capability. My recommendations to the audience is, it is recommended. It was 1 point away from joining the Ass Kickers Club, and you know, that's really good for a $10 knife. It's a really good thing. So I do recommend this knife to my audience. In closing, like I said, I really can't complain that much. I guess I could complain a little bit about the MOV steel, soft steel, but I don't think that's such a big deal in a folding blade knife. Like I said, if you got guys going out there trying to pry a car door off with this, it's going to break. Plain simple, and you know how I feel about destruction testing. It's a little bit big. That's really my only complaint. It's a little big for what I like to carry for everyday carry, excuse me. Overall, I think the blade is awesome. I love the Tanto tip. That really conforms into self-defense and the tactical defense TOU very well. And yes, I would carry this on like load-bearing equipment, or if I knew I was going into a situation to where, hey, I might need a knife for self-defense, I might take my EDC out and that I'm carrying now and use this in place of it. Yes, I could do that. I very well could do that. I like the blade. Kershaw, thank you very much for making the blade. Continue to make it. Like I said, if the only thing that I could recommend to Kershaw about this knife is to make a version of it smaller. Okay, just smaller, and maybe change the tip for EDC. But it's not a big deal to me. I actually like the Tanto tip for EDC as well. So just make a smaller version of it, and I think that it would sell really well. Maybe a price point around $8 to $10, same as this one, and you got yourself, I think, a hot seller. If you wanted to sell it, say at Walmart, that's where I got this one from. It's from Walmart. I mean, that's really all I can say in closing. So thank you for watching the video, the evaluation of this really good product, and we'll catch you later.